Alright, today we are going to be building a rock tumbler that you can use for tumbling rocks, or you can also use it for cleaning coins that you've found metal detecting. You need a chunk of 3-inch ABS pipe, end cap that you're able to screw in. You also need just a regular 3-inch end cap as well. We're going to be using a rubber coupling. We're going to take off these. We don't need these. And we also will be using just 2 casters that are non-swiveling as well. What I've done already is I've taken another piece of ABS pipe and took it onto my table saw, and I just cut some thin strips out that we're going to be using inside of the rock tumbler to help the rocks or the coins move around a little bit more easily in the rock tumbler. Get a piece of newspaper if you're working inside, just so that you keep your table nice and clean. And then I have 4 of these sticks that I've cut from the other piece of ABS pipe, and then I also have some ABS glue. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to wipe off a little bit, and on the back side of these little sticks I'm just going to spread a nice coating of ABS cement, and then moving fairly quickly I'm just going to reach in and place it inside my 3-inch tube. Now it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I'm just going to clamp it with my fingers now for about 2 minutes. Alright, now we're going to put on the last one. And remember, when you're gluing, to make sure you're putting on the back side of the stick, the side that will fit the curve nicely on the inside of the tube. Alright, here's a close-up of how it should look, and you can see there are the strips now glued about every 90 degrees, so that as the rock tumbler spins, the rocks and the sand will be able to get caught up and thrown around a little bit more. Alright, now that we've attached the 4 agitator bars to the inside of the rock tumbler, we're going to take the rubber gasket and we're going to cut 2 strips out of it. Alright, so I've cut the 2 strips, and what I'm going to do now is put it onto the rock tumbler, and as it's spinning it's going to grab on and it's going to help get the rock tumbler to spin a lot more efficiently. We're coming down to the last step of actually making the rock tumbler. The really easy part, we're going to take the end cap, and it really doesn't matter which order you're doing it in, but we're just going to take the end cap that has no threaded part. We're just going to take some ABS glue and smear it around on the inside. If you want a really good bond, just do a little bit on the outside of the ABS pipe. Then before it dries, just push it on, and there you go. That's one end. Now the next thing we have to do is just take the threaded one and do the exact same thing on the other end. Make sure that the whole part of the ABS pipe is covered, otherwise it might leak. Alright, so that's the basic rock tumbler, and it's all ready to go once the glue is dried. And again, all we'll have to do is pour the coins and the rocks or anything like that where we're tumbling, and then just screw on the lid, and we'll be ready to put it onto the rock tumbler. Now, if you're like me, you probably have an old treadmill that is somewhere in your house. Your wife probably wanted to exercise, but she never used it, and of course you never want to use it, and it's just been taking up space. Well, I have found a way to actually make it useful. Alright, so this is the fun part. So what I did in my shop is I got an old piece of 5/8 plywood, but you could use 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch, whatever. And then I just got 2 pieces of old wood and just screwed them on, basically onto the end of the piece of plywood. Now what I've done with the plywood is I've made it extra long this way, I'll show you why in a second, and I've made it as wide as the treadmill. So all you have to do is just take the piece of plywood and stick it underneath the treadmill. The 2 non-swivel casters, and they're going to get screwed onto the block of wood. Get your rock tumbler, and what you're wanting to do is you're going to want to just set it up so that the wheels, I'll show a close-up in a few minutes. You're going to want to set it up so the wheels aren't touching the rubber grips, but that they're sort of equally spread out so that it will take the weight of the rock tumbler. And just screw down the wheels. Alright, that's it. All you need to do now is fill it up with coins or rocks